Hey guys, this is Mike Mahaffey, the old bastard BJJ guy, here for BJJ Mental Models. Back in my day, we had to walk uphill in the snow both ways to get to the academy just to learn some crappy technique from a random purple belt. You kids have it so easy because now you can just subscribe to BJJ Mental Models Premium and get tons of great audio courses to learn new techniques, enhance your mindset, and entertain yourself. You can even get personalized rolling reviews from some of your favorite BJJ Mental Models coaches, including me. It's like having your own seminar, you spoiled little whippersnappers. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe to BJJ Mental Models Premium right now, get off my lawn, and go train.
Hey, welcome to BJJ Mental Models. I'm Steve Kwan. BJJ Mental Models is your guide to a conceptual and intelligent jiu-jitsu approach, and we're back again with another mini episode. Over the last few weeks, we've been running down the 6 core mechanics of jiu-jitsu: frames, levers, wedges, clamps, hooks, and posts. These are all intended to be used in tandem, so if you haven't listened to the other mini episodes yet, I do suggest you do so. But today we're going to be talking about hooks. So in the last episode, we talked about clamps. Now, a clamp is where you use your body to try to hold your opponent in a position that they can't get out of. An example of a clamp would be closed guard. Another example would be back control. But the problem with clamps is that they do require you to be at a size relationship where you have the ability to hold your opponent in place. You may find, given a big enough size disadvantage, that clamping onto your opponent is a disadvantage because when you clamp onto them, you are now tethered to them and they can move you around. That can give them the ability to change the position, and that can also cause safety issues if they do something with your body that's dangerous. So let's talk about hooks, and let's talk about why when you see smaller people grapple, you will often see them lean more towards hook-based control instead of clamp-based control. So a clamp is about locking someone's body to yours, often in a closed loop, like closed guard, where you're crossing your ankles behind their back, or maybe you have a seatbelt grip on them and you're connecting your hands. Hooks don't necessarily require that closed connection. A hook is where you're using part of your body to track the other person's body. So obvious examples are butterfly guard. You are using butterfly hooks. The thing about butterfly guard that really messed me up when I first started practicing it was you can't really just hold the person there. If they want to move, they can move. That's kind of different from the philosophy of closed guard, where the whole game is to prevent them from moving. With hook-based control, you're not really trying to prevent them from moving because hooks are not a great tool for doing that. What you're doing is you're tracking their movement so that they can't easily get a good position on you. And while you're tracking them, you're trying to find times to off-balance them, and that can go into sweeps or positional advancements. So examples: butterfly guard is a great example of a hook-based control, but you can also use your arms for hooks as well. You can also use your head for a hook. However, the thing about hooks that you do need to be careful of is that with a hook, you want to make sure that your opponent does not turn the hook into a lever. If, for example, you're playing what I call outside hook guard, sometimes people call it De La Riva guard, that's an example of a hook-based control because you are using the De La Riva hook to track your opponent. And let's talk about this outside hook guard for a second here. If you play this, then one of the things you probably know is it's really hard to hold someone in that position. If you are a outside hook De La Riva player, you can't just hold someone in that guard and take your time. You need to be constantly attacking their base so that they can't advance the position. This is why that guard is sometimes known as the Jello guard. What you're doing with that hook is you're trying to extend your leg and then pull the person back in, and by doing that, you keep wobbling them so they can never really establish base. So it's a different type of control from a clamp-based control where you're trying to prevent them from moving. With a hook-based guard, you're either trying to track their motion or even create motion so that they have to move in a direction that they don't want to. Hook-based guards are good for people of all body types. It really depends on the type of hook. De La Riva guard is often something that people think of when they think of a person who's longer and lankier, but butterfly guard is an incredible guard for people who are much more compact. It really depends on what you want to do with the hook. For example, if you are a butterfly player, you're probably trying to take the inside channel, get underneath the person, maybe go into a leg entanglement. If you're an outside hook or a De La Riva player, you're probably trying to get outside and around the person, and if you've got big, long limbs, that might help you do that. So hooks are something that can work at all body types, and part of the benefit of hooks is that if you do it properly, you won't be in a situation where your opponent can control you to the same extent that they can if you're trying to clamp onto them. Now, as I mentioned, one thing to be mindful of with hooks is if I am hooking onto someone, there is the possibility that that hook could be turned into a lever. Again, back to the outside hook, De La Riva. Sometimes if you put that hook too deep, the person can grab your foot. That opens up the ability to do knee bars. So something you always have to be mindful of when you're trying to hook someone is if they start trying to turn that hook into a lever, you've got to either release the hook and retract it or move the hook out of way so they can't grab onto it anymore. So again, hooks are very powerful. One goal with hooks might be that you're trying to react to your opponent's movement so you can follow them. Another might be you're trying to off-balance them. They're a very excellent solution. And again, another one of those things where if you're trying to figure out, why am I not able to off-balance this person? Part of it might be that your hooks aren't just good enough. Maybe your hooks are not in a position where it's off-balancing them as much as you would like. Or maybe you're not trying to off-balance them enough. Maybe they're moving around and you're not using your hooks to track them. Those are some things that can help troubleshoot why your hooks might not be working. So there you have it. One of the 6 core mechanics of Jiu-Jitsu: frames, levers, wedges, clamps, hooks, and posts. And the next and final of these 6 episodes on the core mechanics of Jiu-Jitsu, we're going to be talking about posts. Just to reiterate, all 6 of these are best understood together. So if you haven't gone back and listened to those other mini episodes on frames, levers, wedges, and clamps, I suggest you do so. But I'm really enjoying these mini episodes. I hope you are too. If you want more of this stuff, everything we make lives on bjjmentalmodels.com. If you go there, you're going to get hundreds of hours of free audio educational material in the main podcast feed. Plus, you can sign up for our newsletter. Plus, we've got our database of over 150 mental models to help you improve jiu-jitsu. And if you love all of this, please do consider upgrading to BJJ Mental Models Premium. There's an amazing library of content there. Plus, you get access to our incredible community. Thanks so much to everyone for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.